Hi, I was asked to expound on the idea of the Shechina. So I don't want to start quoting sources. It's a very, very, very broad subject. I just want to speak and give the concept itself. So the first thing about the Shechina is the Shechina comes from the word Shechin, which means to dwell. So the last three chapters of Tanya, chapter 50, 51, 51, 52, 53. As I just said that it wasn't good sources, but anyway, Alter Rebbe goes very comprehensively into this concept, and he fundamentally basically answers an interesting question. There's a story that once a Roman, he was anti-Semite, and he would come to Rabbi Akiva and ask kind of bad questions. So he said that you guys say that whenever you have 10 men, the Shechina resides. So he says, how many gods do you have? That's a real good challenge to, Jews, we only have one God. So he said, the sun comes into many windows. That's a very important answer. In other words, on one hand, everything is only God. Nothing can exist besides God. So why do we say that, I don't know, some things are holy and some things are unholy? Everything is God. How can it be unholy? So if you go to the bathroom doesn't have a mezuzah. Why? Because it's not a holy location. On the other hand, the bedroom does have a mezuzah. So who decides the bedroom is holier than the bathroom? The answer is Hashem does. Hashem tells us what is holy, what isn't holy. And so the Shechina, quite simply, is the presence of Hashem. Now, presence comes from the word to be present. So ultimately, the ultimate goal of Hashem is what's called dir b'tachtonim, to be present with you. And the example of to truly be present is not kind of an expansive, like a king. King is not really present when he is in front of the people. Actually, what he's doing is he's creating a presence. But he himself, his inner core, is not present. Because the ego is not our present. The ego is a presence. However, when you are alone with yourself, you're present. Hashem wants to be, and a good example of this, imagine a friend that you grew up with. So when we're young, we're very egoless. So we were very present, and your friend is very present. You're both present in each other's lives. And Hashem wants to be present in your life. So that's the ultimate Shechina that God dwells. Now, just to give you a very brief overview, there's a lot of stuff about the Shechina. But basically, if you have a minyan, the Shechina rests. It says even if one Jew is studying Torah, the Shechina rests. Obviously, you'll have more Shechina, just like a parent. A parent who's with one child is present. But imagine all 10 children get together. Then he's super present because he's super happy. So, B'roivam Hadas Melech, with the great multitude is the glory of the king. So Hashem, we're all his children, so he sees us all together, gives him great joy. That's why unity is very important. Because if Hashem sees us with unity, it gives him joy. And as he becomes happy, the Shechina dwells. He dwells. A man and a woman create the Shechina, because if there's love together, that gives God joy. And then he dwells. It says the greatest Keli, the greatest vessel for blessing, is peace, because you're making God happy, so God is there. So when somebody let's say if I come into, I don't know, I have to go to the bank or something, and nobody's really very nice to me, so I may be present, but I'm not really present. Me is not here. My body is here. My soul isn't here. But if I come in and everybody's saying, hello, how are you? My soul comes alive. So the Shechina is like the essence of Hashem. The essence of Hashem comes to that location. And to conclude, it says in the Tanya that in order to get Hashem, you have to have one of two things. You have to either be engaged in a mitzvah, doing his will. So obviously if I do your will, there's a joy that comes to you. And that's what it says. Hashem gets great joy whenever we do his will. Just like anybody, if you do their will, especially a humble person, they feel very honored and special. However, the truth is that the Shechina dwells on every Jew. The Baal Shem Tov says if an angel could see the Shechina above the head of every Jew, they would expire. It would be such a great light, they would just run to that light and kind of be subsumed within it. Because even though a Jew may not right now be engaged in a mitzvah, nevertheless, every Jew is willing to give their life for Hashem, as we've seen in our history, that when a push comes to shove, we give our life to Hashem. So we all really contain the Shechina with us, and obviously that can become progressively more. And certainly with humility to Hashem, there's a beautiful, beautiful bond that is created.